aspect of our lives. I know that kind of like, kind of sums up a little bit why, I think a lot of people that come here, but everyone has their own single individual reasons for also like invoking them for being here. Myself is Troy Davis.
And I think to build off of that, what we're doing right now means to me that we're already winning. I've never met all you lovely people before, but we're having an honest conversation for the first time in our lives. And I think over the decades, since the 70s, we've built ourselves walls to we're not having conversations, we're separating ourselves. And to me, all this movement is taking that power back. This is a government of the people, by the people, and for the people, and we're now realizing
remembering
that. And by us coming together, the beauty of an occupation concept, to me, is the longevity of it. We're here, we're ready to talk, because we all know how to solve the world, and we've forgotten that we can do it together, So to me, that's why I'm here, and I've seen exactly what Rob's seen. I've seen people come in here a little bit angry, having those walls still up, they're not ready to talk, and 3 days later, their shoes are off, and they're kicking back, relaxing, and they're
finding their voice together. That's like a question for you. The mainstream media is saying that the people of Occupy LA, they're poor and they're wretched and they are just looking for handouts and they're creating problems and they're fighting each other. Everything possible negative that you can think of, they're saying. Tell me about what Occupy LA is really doing.
Well, if I could actually say something, I'm a veteran myself. I just got out right before the new year. And I was at home. I'm with a family that is financially, stable, beyond all means. Like, we're not feeling the economic crash at all. However, I was back in college, and you just research the truth, research what's really going on, and you realize this is more important than me being comfortable at night. This is more important than me. I'm in a position where I could do something about it. I'm not struggling to feed my family. I'm not struggling to feed myself. So how about for everybody out there who is? Because things are worse than the Great Depression. Things are the worst that they have ever been. The thing is, we just have infrastructure. We have things built and established that can't be just taken away. So that way it doesn't
We're
look
at the
as
top
bad.
of that pyramid in the
Exactly.
world. And that's why it's taken
pyramid.
us so long to follow the Arab Spring, follow the Green Revolution, follow the people in Europe. That it's hit them, and for us, we're so insulated from all that. Being Americans,
It's all been
being
part
in
of
that
the
great
same
country
thing.
that we are.
But to
This
add
entire
on,
global revolution, it's all part of the same
committee
thing.
meetings and the
Yeah.
educational classes in UCLA coming to teach here.
yeah,
We
to add
have
on-
the People's Collective University, which is some members who are highly educated here, who have started a movement of education here. We actually have college classes being taught today, tomorrow, and every day of the week right here on premises for free by UCLA professors and other great speakers. We've had wonderful speakers. We have outreach in all languages that we can possibly muster at this point, going out every day. We have committee meetings every day. We have a PR team that is trying to work with this false media, because we are getting a lot of false media, but we can't expect them to report on the truth because they're being paid not to. Okay? And I told those media people, their union is screwing them. They should tell their bosses, we're not reporting your fake news anymore. We're sick and tired of it. Treat us fairly as well. They're all part of the 99%, as of all are you. We're all dealing with the powers and the corporations and the banks that control all of our futures, even down to the police. The police are getting their retirements taken away because of poor investments by the people who run it.
And I've heard them say that people are here are poor, but the reality is a lot of Americans are living below the poverty level. To be poor is not something negative within itself. So yes, you do have poor individuals here who are realizing that the only way that this situation is going to be correct if I come together with individuals who may not be poor. I come from, my family is not necessarily poor within itself, and but I'm here because I realize that I have to help the individuals who aren't. We have to become a unified voice, a unified consciousness to actually achieve the soul desires that we deserve.
and we're a very diverse group here. We have all walks of life, all economic types of people here. There's a lot of poor, but there's also people that have more who already get it, who understand. And yes, the media is going to portray the negative side of us, and of course we're going to have growing pains and things that we're going to have to work through to come together as a group. However, the strides that we're making in such short a time And I think that from the Arab Spring, this is a huge leap. Only 6 months after has this really solidified here in the U.S. This is a global movement right now. One thing that's very easy to forget is that we're part of something that is spread across the planet. There's something like 2,000 occupations going on right now, and we're all more or less unified in what we're saying is that we want economic justice because we're all being stepped on by the 1%. And something that Ryan brought up that's very important is that we have to work together, and that's the process that we're learning to discover here, is how to work together and have everyone's voice mattered and put into that pie so that we can have some real participatory democracy of all of us having a say in how we're going to move forward as a planet.
Well, yeah, I was just going to talk about the poor conversation again, because, you know, we've said that we're all very diverse and we do have people that are comfortable here. But the reality is 50% of Americans made less than $26,000 last year. 50% of American workers did that.
Everybody's poor.
And that is only going to get bigger because
I've never made more than $12,000 a year in my life.
Yeah, I mean, the concept of why we're here is acknowledging that we're all going down that road because the system is broken. So we may not be there yet, but we're out here, those of us that are in that upper middle class, we're out here because we know we're going that direction.
As far as the portrayals go, it's also really easy to forget that this is the first revolution that's ever attempted to integrate the homeless and transient populations into itself. And it's very easy for somebody with a camera to walk through and to take 100 shots and only focus on the 5 or even the 10 or even the 20 of folks who happen to not be able to represent themselves that well. But the fact that we are taking that on, the fact that those people are finding voices, that our people are finding voices here together, that is our greatest strength. And it's very easy for a great strength to be portrayed as a weakness just by tweaking the perspective.
You hear the stories of, you know, some of the transients, some of those who aren't well off at all, and you hear, yeah, I owned like 4 homes and my own business, you know, just 3 years ago, and it was all taken, all of it. Now look at me, I'm on the street barely finding something to eat, whereas before I took care of like my entire extended family.
It could be any one of us, and we're finding that it is every one of us. Every one of us who lives here has taken up our residence. This is my home. You know that this one is not, but this is her home. That's right. And my home is on the other side of the lawn. But that's my home too. And we're remembering that our homes are not the things that we live in. Our homes are the people that we spend our time with, the relationships and the communities that we build.
And for anyone who would say that we don't have any demands or don't have a way forward, we are making such a disruption in the status quo. The bankers are complaining that we're going through the financial district too much. Yesterday we shut down a Bank of America. Eight of us closed down a branch for 2 hours just by having our presence there with a couple of signs. If we broke off into small groups, just went off five person groups and hit all the banks in town, we could shut down the whole banking system right here today. And this is something that we're moving towards. The bankers are saying, why are the police letting these guys get away with this? Because, you know, they're starting to feel what we're doing here, so we're having a powerful effect. We're actually helping to control the whole dialogue nation and worldwide. Our voices are finally being heard. So for those who are going out saying we're not doing anything, we're just a bunch of ragtag hippies that can't get our heads out of bed. Well, look at what we're doing. The reason they're demonizing us now is because they can no longer ignore us. You know, next step.
One good thing I want to say about your group, though, is you have embraced the homeless, and a lot of them are mentally challenged, and nobody seems to notice that. So thumbs up for you all, because that is really something that I always think about. The homeless not getting enough attention. All they do is move them from one corner to the other. So with the message that we're all sending out, hopefully this will change.
Yeah, I mean, going off that, I think we've seen a lot of homeless people with mental illness, with social challenges, start to heal here. And I think, like you said, for so long they've been ignored, and we're having conversations, we're looking at them as men and as women for the first time, and we're seeing them getting better. It's an amazing thing.
We have a residence from day one.
Yeah, they have a task, they have a duty, they're part of the social construct that we have.
Who's been homeless for years, 6 years I believe she said, and she came here in her first couple of days, she looked very down and depressed, and then she said to somebody, what can I do to help? since then, she's become one of the most helpful people we have and a great force in this movement. And we're providing her with somewhere to stay safe, you know, and housing and clothes, food. We have showers here. We're trying to work towards more of a community. We're working to try to get the local city to let us tie into the city water so we can get a water filtration system, which will benefit everybody, so we have clean drinking water and don't have to ask for donations anymore and get the water that we've been paying for.
Because that water is here to serve the citizens. Right. And we are the citizens. That's the thing. There's a story going around about how we're going to have to re-turf the lawn and it could cost some insane amount of money. Now, I know what the actual cost of the money is, and it's nowhere near what the media is saying, but setting that aside, we are the folks who replace that lawn. We are the laborers that install that space. Like, what else?
I think
We're those people.
The best part about this,
We can do it for free.
We're those people.
Hey, we've been talking your ears off. Hey, we've been talking your ears off. Do you guys have? You guys have any questions or anything you guys want to say to us?
Something you would like to see from?
Well, I'm proud of you guys of what you're doing. I think it made a big difference. Even though the media is negative, we know the truth behind the stories. So to me, that's important.
Thank you for coming out here.
So thanks for your time.
Everything you say is make us feel ready for the action.
Email addresses or anything to trap information who's here? I don't know.
Our information is going to be on our website. Everything that we have is like usually be on the website. We're like fully transparent with everything that we're doing, and so if everything is going like it's usually posted on the website. But I would like to say like one of the best things about this movement right here is the dialogue itself. The dialogue that's taking place, the conversations that are taking place. Like some of the best moments is actually when we're inside of our tents and we are actually like having these conversations.
Like right now.
Taking like taking notes on like what people are saying on like how we're actually going to correct and create this like this better society that we know we can actually create. To say that we can create a peaceful society is no longer like something that you can actually buy. We're not buying anymore because we know we have more than enough resources. And I refute that that this planet is overpopulated. We're not overpopulated. We're under sponsored by ourselves.
Yeah, and that's what it is to me. To me, is the answers on how to fix everything already lie in the philosophical and academic realms. They're there. The answers are there, and they've been squashed because they're not about profits. They're about sustainability, and because they're not about profits, these corporations are squashing this type of research, like global warming. So to me, it's game over.
She didn't think we had money to help her. Yeah, she didn't want to be a burden. She was in pain for 2 weeks. She said she was finally up all night, and then she finally asked me. I said, "Why didn't you say anything? You got the prescription 10 days ago." But that's what that's how her mentality is. And and I think that's sad. She's worked all her life. She worked 4 years. She was a healthcare worker too, and she's at the end of her life.
She's forgotten her value.
Yeah. No, now your life is hang about the dollar. No money, no life. You have to die. No money, no hunger.
They delude us and make us feel like that we're not worthy of the respect that we are inherently like deserve. They like delude us and make us think make us scared of each other, and we're realizing that we're like there's no reason to be afraid of my brother. There's no reason to be afraid of my sister because like my brothers and my sisters are the only ones who are actually going to be able to understand me, are going to actually be able to bring about this like peaceful society that we are achieving. Like don't let the media, anyone tell that this is not going to happen. This society that we are creating is going to happen. Like it's here.
We already won.
It's here. We're tasting it. Like we're tasting it, and we're like trying to digest it right now. But once it's digested, it will be here, and it will be here forever.
Yes. Six months ago, SEIU, Healthcare Worker, who we are, with St. John's Clinic, we started a program where we're going to be a partners to help the people in here in South LA, and we started already fighting for.
All right.
And really, I am #1 in the leadership here, and I find out so many sad things around these people. And because we work in the hospitals, a lot of these people go in there, they don't have no medical, Medicare, nothing, and they just put a painkiller and do a little better, and then they say, take it out, send it to special general hospitals, or they send it to the shelters, and that's not right. government are talking that he spent a lot of money. Doing this, you're going to pay more money because there's going to be a lot of people that are going to die. It's going to be epidemics. It's going to hurt more everything. But they don't care. But the way they're going to care is what you all do, what we do today. And I am very proud for you all.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
That was awesome.
Thank you guys. Yeah, we look forward to seeing you guys again.
Our media.
That's good that I was here. My son called me from New York. And when that thing started, he said, Mama, did you hear something about this? And I was looking online. He said, no, Mama, they are blocking. But it's going to be the day when they not can shut up. I said, thank God. Last Saturday here, and he was texting me, and they stopped the protest over there in New York. And he said the police is acting like a dog. But, you know, if everybody get together, then I can be doing nothing. If we are together, we can do big things.
There you go. There you go.
All right, you guys. Thank you.